What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sunday's live draw and chat with friends. Today is going to be a special episode dedicated to the life and career of Mr. Sal Buscema, a legend gone way too soon. We will be honoring him. We will be creating art in his honor and talking about some of our favorite Sal work. If Guy Dorian makes it in here, Mr. Guy Dorian was very close with Sal, so he will be sharing some personal stories and, doing art, loving comics, doing all the things that we know Sal loved. So, first off, I'm going to bring in random order all of my fellow artists. I'm going to start with Mr. Ed Lilly. What's up, Ed?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I was just waiting to hear your buttery smooth voice.
It's that sweet mic, man. It's that sweet
Mm-hmm.
mic.
What are you working on today?
So I sketched out Spider-Man punching Green Goblin.
I love
Um,
it.
right? Is a kind of a homage to that issue 200 that he
That
did.
looks like a Sal punch.
Exactly. I love the way he threw a punch. So I was like, you
Yeah,
know what? Let me do something like that and throw my own little flair in there. Obviously,
it's looking good, man. The gesture is locking in.
it's locking in. That's what we do, man.
Love it. All right, next up, I'm going to bring in returning artist, guest, friend of the group, Mr. John Mangello. How you doing, John?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, buddy. Welcome in.
Good. Yeah, thanks for having me again.
You couldn't even wait. You already started inking that before we
That's
even were live.
yeah,
Look at this guy.
it's
Yeah,
here.
it's
I've been
good.
waiting all day.
He's trying to get a head start on us, gentlemen. Now, let everybody know what you're working on here.
Oh, so this is of the Hulk, and I always loved his Hulk the most. Actually,
Oh
I had
man,
I think it
Sal's
was
Hulk.
I can't remember if it was a lunchbox or a T-shirt, but it was his Hulk that I found out later,
Nice.
and I always loved how much emotion he got out of him. So I was trying
Mm,
to do that.
Oh
A s-
yeah.
sad Hulk with
mhm.
Yep.
a bird flying down, which I found out was a deaf bird actually.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
kind of fits.
That's cool, man. Very
Yeah.
cool. Love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All
Thanks.
right.
Thanks, guys.
And next up, I'm gonna bring in another gentleman working on a Hulk piece, but he has to one up us all, and he's painting it. Mr. Yevgeny
Hey,
Sokolov. What's up, brother?
Hey, man.
hey guys,
What
what's
you
up?
doing, man? How's it going?
Looking good.
It's going all right. Thank you.
And this is
Whoop.
from a
Gotta
mirror
watch it.
selfie that he took a couple days ago.
Correct.
Got the pose. Got
Totally
the
posed
hand
for it.
is his hand might be a little small compared to yours, but overall, I think you captured it.
That's
This
right.
is looking amazing, man. And what medium
Thanks,
are you
guys.
working in here?
I'm working with acrylics.
Nice.
I did acrylic wash earlier before
Mhm.
starting, so and now
Now,
my style is I build up with really thin washes and then start
okay.
working in thicker, kind of like
And just
watercolor.
just in case, you know, these poor folks do not follow you, I would highly encourage them to follow you. But some of them that do follow you would know that you had to do a do over on this piece because of a
I did.
freak accident with some things falling off a shelf, and the first one got ruined.
Mm.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
man.
I was moving some lights, and one of the where I store my frames up top on the little shelf
Oh
kind of
man.
started tumbling down, and some things fell and kind of punched a hole in the other one.
Oh,
Oof.
that hurts, man.
Yeah, I shouldn't have had to land there, but then again, hey,
Right.
just gives me
Hey,
extra practice.
we
That's
like to
true.
live on the
That's
edge.
true.
Us artists like to live on the edge sometimes.
That's right.
I'm so cramped in this room. It may not like appear that way because of how the camera's framed, but when I move around in here, I got to be really careful. I'm always knocking stuff over.
Yeah, me too, James. I'm in like the
Yeah,
corner
see?
of our apartment,
Yeah, see?
so it's
Oh,
all very precise and tight, but
Yeah.
it's working. It's good.
the
Hey,
funny
if it
is, I have plenty of
works,
space, but I just
yeah.
It's like we live very carefully until complete chaos happens.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. It's one of those things.
Well,
I started actually taping down my ink to the table just in
there
case.
you go. Yeah, I've
Smart.
seen other
Smart.
people doing that, taping the ink to the table and making sure it doesn't spill everywhere.
Yeah, I don't trust myself with that.
All right, so I'm going to check our chat here real quick. We have a lot of our regulars in here. We got Mr. Richard Westfall encouraging everybody to hit that like button. Appreciate
Thank
it,
you. Thank
Richard.
you.
Got my buddy Noe Nova in here. He
Nice.
is an awesome
Hey.
musician and writer working on his new writing project. He actually did all the different music that I use on my channel.
So
Oh,
sweet.
nice.
Fantastic, man.
Yeah, it's really good.
Incredibly talented. Yeah,
is.
including the music that was on the intro that I played on here today. He did the Bristol Bros theme and the current music for the podcast. So incredibly talented guy. Mr. Michael Gardner's in here with
Really
us
cool.
again. What's up, Michael?
What's going on?
Hey, Mike.
Mr. Victor Medina has us playing on in the background. And that reminds me, guys, I want to take a moment to express my condolences to Bigby. Bigby McFly can't be here today, guys. Send him some love. He received news this morning that his mother-in-law passed away. So him and his wife are, in the grieving process and dealing with all of that. So that's why Mr. Bigby isn't here. And Mr. Vic isn't with us because his mother-in-law is having some health complications. So send them that positive energy, prayers, good vibes, whatever you believe in. Send it their way because we're all part of this thing together. We're all in this community. Show them the love. Reach out to them. It does make a difference, guys.
Yes, please do.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Let's see. We've got Saboteur Comics in here again. Welcome back, Saboteur. Says
Hey,
hello,
Saboteur.
everyone.
What's going
What's
on?
up, sir?
Hey.
Nova says cable management is key to not tripping over wires and absolutely sending your interface across the room. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I've had some issues with that. For me, it's more like not tripping over artist edition books because they're
Yeah.
stacked on the floor. They're on the shelves around me.
You've got a few, huh?
I've got, I think, close to 20 of them now.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten bad at that too.
I will have one less, coming up after February 6th, though, because the contest for that Spawn, that extra copy of the Vault Edition will be raffled away to a random winner. Not raffled, I guess that's the wrong word.
Random wink wink.
Wink wink.
Wink wink.
Easy now, yeah. Don't let him on to it. Slipping me $100 bills in the mail. No, it's going to be randomly drawn. I would encourage everybody to make sure you actually read the instructions because more than one individual has entered did not send me proof that they're subscribed on this YouTube channel. So that is one of the steps to be qualified to be entered. I am not going to go through and investigate or have the time to do that to make sure that you are subscribed on YouTube. You need to send me that screenshot proof that says subscribed on there. All right. I am pretty close to finishing this Superman.
Oh, nice.
It's
awesome.
Pretty much finished, but I'm doing some rendering, so I'll show that since I showed everybody else's. So,
Yeah, looking good, man.
Yeah, check that out.
Oh, look at that.
my camera's flipped. Hold on. At least on my end, it's showing flipped. I
No.
don't think it's flipped for you guys,
It
but
No,
looks,
it's
yeah, it
fine.
looks correct here.
now it
Yeah.
looks
Yeah, it
right
looks
to
good.
me. All right, so we got the buildings in there, and this Daily Planet building, guys. That's the thing I'm the most proud of because that was not a easy angle to.
Oh yeah.
For the building.
well,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I'll hold on. Yeah, look at it. Getting the letters correct, the way
There
they
you
wrap
go.
around, seeing the letters in reverse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Look
that
at
looks
you
good.
with those layers on. Check that out.
Yeah, yeah.
Proud of my guy.
Look at that.
What is layers?
Yeah. Well, you're doing
So-
layers just in a different way, bud.
That is true.
Layering on those washes. Yeah, so I'm
Correct.
just doing the little nitty gritty, picking away at some of these
I love it.
details on the building, the glass,
Mhm.
some
Nice.
lines. I put some clouds and birds in.
Uh-huh.
Got an airplane flying off. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, trying to give it some depth.
Now, did you freehand that with a ruler, or did you use the ruler built in to the program?
I freehanded them with the initial sketch, and then I went in with the perspective ruler and kind of just made sure this perspective was on point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Now
That's cool.
the Daily Planet, that was pretty much, I used a ruler for the circle,
Hmm.
but the rest of it was pretty much freehand, like all the lettering and stuff.
Nice. Came out really
Yeah.
good.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that was a tough angle to get. Thank you,
I love
Mikey.
it.
He says nice background. Yeah, so I think I'm
Mhm.
going to be doing a little more rendering on this guy. And with Superman, guys, do you feel like almost like minimalistic rendering on him is the way to go? Like I kind of feel like he's a character that's more portrayed in a way where they really let the color do a lot of the rendering, and most artists leave it more open.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have a hard time doing that, but you're probably
My
right.
tendency would be more like to
It's
over render him the heck
Yeah.
out of him like a Dale Keown drawing or
Yeah.
something. But
It's
I
something
think
about
because
Superman. Yeah.
yeah, I think because it's in the daytime. I'm assuming, right?
yeah, it's in the daytime, and I'm doing more like these little suggestions like this,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
little things like that, but
Yeah.
not like the heavy cross hatching and stuff that I would.
I think it works too, especially because a lot of the background is
Yeah,
carrying a lot of that detail, so he'll pop out more.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh, our buddy Guy is here. I see him
Hey.
backstage there. All right, I'm gonna take myself off full screen. Boom. I'm gonna let Guy on the stage. Mr. Dorian in the house. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, guy.
What's going on,
Glad
man?
you
Hey,
made
how you
it.
doing?
Guys, as
Hey, guys.
everybody who's tuned into the stream knows, we are here to celebrate the life and career of Mr. Sal Buscema. Guy was very close with Sal. Obviously, it's a hard time for him, but he's been so kind as to get on here with us and going to share some nice memories and stories about Sal and a little peek behind the curtain as to the man he was and just what an extraordinary talent that he was. I mean, most of us understand how talented he was, but you got to witness it firsthand.
Yeah. Sorry, I got on a little late. Um, I don't want to. I don't want to. I've been trying to process it, in a way that if there's a lot. Sal loved a lot of people. He had a lot of friends, and he was
Yeah.
great. He had a lot of great friends. Because he was such a good guy. But over the last almost 15 years, we became friends. We first met in like 2010 or something like that, or 11, 5 or
Right.
something. Maybe it's 2005 or something. And he had always been a hero of mine growing up. I think I've told you stories, the story, which I might tell during this. I had two loves, martial arts and comics. And when so growing up, I had a lot of artists that I loved, but Sal Buscema was, I mean, was one of the guys that I just couldn't get enough of. So sorry, man. Guys,
good, buddy.
I'm really trying. I wasn't sure how I would be getting on like a live stream and like literally like doing this. So I'll catch up to myself though. but we became really good friends. We worked together on different stories like Rom and Rom Dire Race, which were two different. It was Rom the Soul Star Order we did in I think 2000. We started in 2013 or 14, or it was published in 2014. We started in 2011. I can't remember anymore. I left my white beard and everything today. I
I
just
love
couldn't.
it,
I
bud.
didn't.
You look good.
I couldn't. I just wasn't going for the shaven look today. I
So,
just,
Yeah.
so good.
You're
you
good.
know. But you know, growing. I'm sorry, I'm bouncing around. But growing up with Sal, he was a hero of mine, as he was for many people. But it just turns out that I love the Hulk, who was one of my favorite characters, and Rom was one of my favorite characters, and Spider-Man. And of course, he's drawn everything, but
Yeah.
those characters were some of his most prolific. And so it meant a lot to me to to get to work with Sal. But I didn't expect to become, you know, I'm usually friends with most of the people that I work with. You know, one thing that I love Neil Adams, and one thing that Neil said to me is, you don't have to like the people you work with, Guy. But for me, if you can, it's much better.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
I said to him, I work with all the people I like, Neil, including you. You know, and Sal became someone we just matched. I remember the first cover we did together. I brought it over to Michael Golden because Michael is one of I actually own the Michael Golden group on Facebook, the
Oh,
one that
nice.
has the most Michael Golden stuff there is, and
Okay.
Michael knows, and Renee and everybody, obviously. Um, uh, and I've owned that for years. I started it, obviously. But you know, I showed it to Michael, and as what do you think of our collaboration? And he took it and he looked at it. And then I went over to go grab it again. He said, no, I'm still looking, still looking. And and he said, you guys really match. You really match. And I think it was just the sensibilities. You know, there's different houses, sort of. So like I'm in the comic realism house. I'm not in the realism house. I
Right.
don't want to be in the realism house. You know, I think I told you guys last week. I could draw anything. I could draw anything as realistic as anyone. I just don't care to. I like that raw, visceral, you know, drawing that comes out, you know, with all the mistakes in all its glory that comes specifically from the person drawing it. You know, it's your voice. Anyway, Sal and I were able to create a voice together. Sal used to say to me, I finish your sentence,
Mm.
you know. Uh, um, if we were going in comedy terms, it would be I complete you. So
Yeah.
you complete me, whatever. But the thing is, Sal and I had a really incredible connection that I don't think either one of us knew. We also have this. We also have the same a lot of similarities in our lives and our work, and also our friends. And Sal was an extremely religious man. I happen to be religious myself, and uh, we shared that, and that was a little different than a lot of the people that he worked with.
Right.
Uh, so it you know, all those things combined, you know, but for you know, to Sal, I'm sorry, am I talking too much?
No, you're good,
Uh,
buddy. This is the
You're
for
whole
good, man.
point of this, bud.
for Sal, his he didn't have a more important book or more important time of working. I don't know if
Right.
people who don't like fans will say his greatest works were the Hulk. His greatest works was this. His greatest was Spider-Man when he started doing more, you know, when he was influenced by whoever. And that person, by the way, was a mutual friend of ours and Bill Sienkiewicz.
Hmm.
Um, and, you know, um, but Sal didn't think that way. Most of us don't think that way, actually. We just whatever work we're doing is professional. Whatever work we're doing, we're happy to do and do as whatever to the best of our abilities at the time that we do it. We don't think of anything any differently usually. You know what I'm saying? We could say, hey, this was my best work, or that was my best work, or other people think this is my best work. But for Sal, I mean, a guy who came into the industry as an inker, 68, he came in,
Right.
Rawhide Kid or something, or one of the cowboy books, and then he inked what is his most famous work with his brother John, starting from issue 4 of Silver Surfer. But I mean, to Sal, every job he did was the next best favorite job in a way. You know, understand what I'm saying? To him, it was the work that did it to him for him. A lot of people would like to think and say what was his this and that. That's not true. Sal did, and the reason why this matters is, you know, he did something for Daryl, how am I forgetting his last name? Run, DMC, Run, right? Was, yeah. And he loved it. He did work on independent books, but with great people, you know, with Ron Friends, and he was an incredible collaborator with Ron Friends. Ron, he would say Ron was one of the best draftsmen he's ever worked with, and I totally agree. Ron's so clean and so precise, and they were really meant for each other because Ron idolized Sal as well. You know, Ron's a little older than I am, and they did great work together. And
awesome.
Tom DeFalco, friend of mine as well. I just was sitting with Tom. He sat next to me at Dragon Con, this past Dragon Con for 4 days. It was great to see him. I used to see him at Marvel all the time. But you know, no matter what book he was doing, he loved it. But I will say this: his favorite character was the one he's most known for. That's Incredible Hulk.
Nice.
He
cool.
literally was his favorite character.
That makes me happy to hear.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, it's literally his favorite character. Which, you know, up until like a few years ago, you know, I always loved Aquaman. But I also love Rom, which Sal loved Rom.
Yeah.
And then I got to work with him on Rom. You know, I always loved Hulk. I love Green Lantern though so much. I you know, the whole Green Lantern Corps and all the characters. I love that. But you know, Sal and I got to work together on. He came on board with me. I will draw, by the way, with you guys. I'm gonna do some Salisms. I'm gonna draw some Sal mouths and draw Sal like what he would draw the Hulk. And then I don't want to get off what I was saying though, but you know, we worked on. I was doing a book, and it was a love letter to Rom, because Rom wasn't out yet. And I wanted to do this book, and I came up with it, I think, in 2010 or something like that. And I started working with Bob Wyacek, and this character was named Core. Notice R-O-M is Rom. Core, you flipped Rom, it's M-O-R. So I wrote C-O-R because I loved the way it sounded. It gave me that, you know, it's controlled organic robotics. So it had that Romness. He had a backpack like Rom and everything. Doesn't look like Rom, but he does. He's all black and everything. I'll show a picture of him if I could find one somewhere here. And I was working on it with Bob Wyacek, and Bob started having some real problems with his eyes. If any of you don't know, Bob can't draw anymore. He has a thing in his eye. I forget what they call that. And he can't see out of one eye, and the other eye isn't the greatest either.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a shame.
Yeah, Bob is a legend and an incredible guy, a really good pal of mine. We talk every few months, and I check in on him, and he checks in on me. And but you know, Bob, it's like Bob. You know, I was working with Herb Trimpe. I was working with Larry Hama. I was working with um, a lot of people. Wheezy. I think I was working. Was I working with Wheezy at that time? I can't remember. Anyway, so I was like, "Hey, man, who would you recommend? You know, take over for you?" And he was throwing out names, and I was like, you know, I know Sal would be great on me. This one, that one. He goes, Sal. He goes, let me get you his number. So, you know, of course, I was thinking to myself, wow, have I gotten to this? How did I get to this? How do I know all these people? You know, you just turn around one day and you're working with these legends, and then you turn around 10 years later and go, I worked with these legends for all these years, but you're still excited. If you really love comics, if you really love the art, and the people that do it, you know, it doesn't matter who you are. You know, every one of us gets excited about somebody else in the industry.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
It should be that way. Anyway, like I get excited about Kanan White's art. I love that guy.
Yeah,
We
he's
worked.
awesome.
Yeah, we got to work together a bunch of times, and he's like the best. I haven't seen anyone do digital inking or art like him. He's fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I agree.
Anyway, so you know, I called Sal up, and I don't think I've had a more. You know, you ever have that, like a conversation with someone you never met, but when you talk to them, it's like you knew them.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Bingo, that's what it was.
I think
Yeah.
the only person I can say that I have a handful of those, and one that stands out was the first time I talked to my wife on the phone.
Oh,
When I called her for a first date.
That- that's
it was like
awesome.
we'd known each other forever. It was the weirdest thing.
That's a great
Perfect.
story, man.
Yeah, it was
perfect.
really cool.
I love that that happened to you.
Yeah.
Let me grab Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan and see what we could do.
Mhm. There you go.
You've got snail mail. Okay, so then you know, we literally started work. He goes, you know, Guy, Bob speaks highly of you. I would love to work with you. We became inseparable. I sent him pages to work on for this book. And at the time, I think when he first started, Larry was not involved. And then Larry took over on issue 3 while we were producing it. We were producing all the issues ahead of time, which was like a 200-page book. And creating the whole world and everything. The coolest part is that Sal and I, he inked 3/4 of all the character designs I did. And that was for a company called PKMM, who was a startup company, but was hiring the greatest people in the world. My brother worked for them, did a book for them called Law of Resistance with Joe Weems, Tex Sierra, and Bill Sienkiewicz. Yeah. My brother doesn't screw around. Neither do I. We like to, you know, I don't say we like to. I work with all people of all different levels and all different. Somebody who came into the industry a week ago, I would work with them, but we just happen to always fall in. Like I can't walk out of a store without bumping into a famous director or the most famous comic book artist in the world, or it just
got that weird like serendipitous thing.
yeah, man. It's always been like that. So my brother and I just are like that. And then, you know, here I am now on the phone. My wife comes in. The first time I'm talking to Sal Buscema, I don't know what to think, guys. Like, because you're at this point. I had already been a professional for many years. I work with all these famous people, but still, he's my idol. Besides Walter, who I love. I don't know if Walter will ever see this. First person I talked to after I found out about Herb. I'm sorry about Sal, because Herb was the first person. Sal was the first person I talked to after Herbie died, and I was working on his last piece and inking it, and I was absolutely crushed that my friend Herb died. And uh, then, ironically, now it was Walter talking to me about Sal.
Yeah.
Talking me off a ledge. But I mean, it was amazing, guys. But the rapport, the rapport was there.
Hmm.
The connection
So
was
cool,
there.
man. So special that you have those memories to look back on.
Well, it lasted till the end of his life. I spoke with him last, like a week or so before he passed. He told me he was going to take me to lunch, as he always did.
Yeah.
We had been to lunches and dinners. I'd been bowling with them. I had secret meetings with Sal, which I'm saying for the first time here, because he
Awesome.
wanted to meet with me, just me. And I would say, hey, let's get together with this one. And then he'd say, no, uh, let's just hang out together. And I mean, I'm trying not to get emotional here, guys. If I
You're
do,
good, buddy.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to mess up the stream or anything here.
No,
It's just,
You're
that's what
good,
this is
man.
about, man.
It's fine.
I know, but I don't want this to be a Bobble Walters thing.
It's fun to hear, guy. It's
Yeah,
all right.
it's great.
But
He
we
deserves to have that level of emotion and care. So
I
it's
agree.
totally
It does.
totally
Agreed.
understandable.
It's very personal, and you just showing it. It's a very natural thing. You got to
Yep.
talk about them. You got it. You got to.
yeah. Well,
And we love hearing it.
Yes.
We really do,
Yep.
to be honest with you.
Yeah, and we appreciate you being on here. And I know how hard it is, and especially given how fresh it is.
well, the thing about Sal was he was so humble, guys.
Yeah.
If he just saw you as an artist, it didn't matter. Remember I said before, I would work with somebody if they just came into the industry a week ago. It
Right.
doesn't matter to me. But he was so humble about everything and about himself. And he was truthful, but he was humble.
Hmm.
He would tell me about other artists, and his idol, which many people have probably mentioned at this point, was his brother.
Yeah.
But I think you have to understand who Sal was to understand. He loved Norman Rockwell. I sent him. He has Joan has it, a Norman Rockwell cookbook. I sent him. He loved Norman Rockwell, and we would talk about it. But he loved
Sorry,
Michelangelo and
Travis. I
Norman
didn't see
Rockwell.
Travis was backstage. Let me let Travis on here with us.
Sure, I'll
I
wait.
didn't see I was looking down at my tablet. Hey,
Let me
Travis, sorry,
know.
buddy.
Hey guys. Hey Guy, I got to hear the last couple moments of what you were talking about, and I just wanted to tell you, man, how much we appreciate and love you,
Yeah.
and want you to know that it's important to share these feelings, especially to go through grief, and we're grieving with you
Definitely.
in the sense that we love you and we're going to be here for you and through this whole thing, because it's part of life, but we go through life together, and that's an important thing.
Absolutely. Well said.
And so, man, I'm so happy that you became part of my life now, even at this point, and with what's happened with Sal. I just want you to know how much I appreciate you, and how much I appreciate what you've brought to our little family here, and I can't imagine not having you in here with us anymore. So I love that you're here with us, and
Yeah, I couldn't
it's
have said it
amazing.
any better, Trav. Well said, buddy.
That's very kind, and it's first, I'd like to say glad to see all you guys, to be honest. Um, and Trav, thank you very much for that. And it's good to have you on here. And I love being here with you guys. I'm a very particular guy, very particular guy. I just happen to like this James Foster dude.
I got him. I got him
So do
fooled.
we.
I got him fooled for now, gentlemen.
But Sal was an extremely humble man, and I think, taking nothing away from John though, because I know he was his hero, but I have to say that Sal would put others in front of himself all the time to kind of take that, praise away from himself because of his humility, and this is a guy who was at one point doing 3 titles in a month and could do, 4 pages a day like Jack Kirby. And, he came into the industry to be an inker. And that was really his first thought process. A lot of people know him as an illustrator. And then even though he was an inker over himself, they still say illustrator, artist,
Right.
or whatever. But he came in to be an inker. But somebody said to me, well, what made him want to be an artist? Money. It's as
Right.
simple as that. Sal would say to me, I love money. So I would say, hey, Sal, what you should take on any job that you want for money. He goes, I do. So, that was his great gift to all of us, because, if you had a decent job for him, he would do it.
Yeah.
But he always tried to push that away from himself, and that's why I came on because I was going to come on with you guys, but I wanted to talk about Sal, and I appreciate you guys making this about Sal. And before I go on, and can we see what everybody's doing? James, you want to?
Let's do this, Guy. We've got a question about
Sure.
your relationship with Sal here from Richard Westfall. He wants to know, Guy, if you don't mind me asking, what did Sal teach you about life and about comics/drawing?
Well, that's a good question, and thank you for that question, Richard. Was it Richard, right? Is that what you said?
Richard Westfall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, that the reason why that question is so good is because, one of the people that I really look up to, there were the 2 people that I really looked up to very much. There are others because I was friends with Joe Sinnott and everything, and I got something from everyone, and Herb and Walter. I talk about Walter all the time. Walter is just a lovely man, and I learned so much from Walter just by his demeanor, and he's an insanely absolute professional. What I learned from Sal, I learned that no matter how good you are, no matter who you need to care for others. You need to be humble. You need to be, there's guys out there. As you guys know already, as we've talked about it, I happen to work with, somebody says, well, who do you work with? Well, obviously it's, the best, greatest people in the world, or ever, in many cases. But, I also know very famous people that I don't talk about. And the thing that I find amazing and that I always try to keep in mind that Sal exuded was to always refresh my mind that we're nothing.
Right.
We are, but we're not. No one is better than anyone else. No one is greater than anyone else. No one should act greater than anyone else. No one should be that way. And I think it's a lesson that was, it's not that I didn't think that way. It's just that he perpetuated in everything, because you know, as I said, he was a religious man. So to him, nothing was greater than God, and no one should be praised in that way. So to his humility was it was a natural thing. And there's a story I could tell you that he had told me, where he was, I think it was a barbecue or something. There might be different versions of the story have already been told or whatever, but as Sal had told it to me, he was at a family thing with John right after he started on Silver Surfer, and John ripped him a new a-hole. Sal was like, "What'd you think?" Blah blah blah, all happy and everything, confident, and John ripped him a new a-hole about his inking, his hatching. Clean that crap up. And it's not that Sal didn't have humility at that time, but he had only been in the industry for like 2 years at that point.
Right.
So, he was a youngin', and he learned that early on. And you would assume if your brother is damn John Buscema, one of the greatest effing comic illustrators. Let's just go with illustrators.
Overall,
We'll go with comic illustrators who has ever lived. And it at that age, even, it's like, you got to have humility. My brother says that I draw as well as he does, or, and I'm a prolific illustrator and all that stuff. But when I look at my brother's work, I go, damn, I wish I could draw a calf like that.
Right.
Damn, geez, that guy can draw, he's a walking anatomy instructor, and he literally is,
Yeah.
But Sal was that way with his brother, John, and, that humility lasts. And, we would have our conversations, and he would, throughout our conversations, not try, he wasn't trying to tell me these things. He was just, the nature of our conversations always led to him talking about the humility of man.
Yeah.
And that was a lesson that I think he taught me as far as friendship. He did. I didn't realize that somebody could be so selfless in their friendship as him too. He was always concerned, always called. When my wife was sick for 8 years, he called me and said, "Joan and I prayed for Marnie. We continue to pray for her every day, and we continue to put her in our prayers at church every Sunday." He would call the house and talk to me and Marnie and ask her how she's doing, and send Christmas cards every year with ornament for our tree. I just got a Christmas card from him.
Yeah.
And Joan.
Very humble man. Kind.
Yeah, very kind.
thoughtful.
Anyway, he was just so good like that. And, this isn't something that has to do with any of his books right now. This has to do with the man himself, what kind of a friend he was, and he was good to everyone. It wasn't just me, but we did have a very special connection. And he would tell me that, and, he gave me a compliment once. He said that I was one of the most creative people he'd ever worked with. And I was like, what the hell? He said, I mean it, guy. The characters you come up with and the ideas, most of the stories were like my idea and everything. And so it was like, it was pretty cool, and, as far as his art, what did I learn? Well, I'm also an inker. A lot of people don't hire me to be an inker for some reason, though. They always want to hire me as an artist. And I'm like, let me ink. And
Yeah.
everybody's like, no, I want you to draw. I'm like, no, I want to just ink,
Well,
But is anyone out there wants me to just ink? And I don't like to say just ink, because as Bill Sienkiewicz says, he said, we're all artists, guy. That's it. We choose to do. And Ditko said the same thing to me. Ditko, one of the things that he wanted to start, not try to get off subject. I'll get back to the question about what I've learned from Sal, but like Ditko said the same thing. He's like, the difference between, he said, the difference between us guy is that we're guys, we could write, we could draw, we could design, we could create characters, we could ink, whatever it is. If we wanted to be letterers, we'd be letterers. If we wanted to be colorists, he said, and he goes, this is the difference. And this, he was talking about what it is to be a professional and what it truly means to be a creator, at least old school style like we are. And it was very, very cool to have Go standing in front of me tell me this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But Sal says the same thing, and Sal could have done anything he wanted to do. But what I learned most was about Sal's efficiency of line. Sal was a master illustrator. And you see his comic book stuff, and a lot of people look at that and go, "That's Sal Buscema." What that was is Sal Buscema doing what Sal Buscema does and did in comics, and what he chose to do, and that he understood the medium so well that is the work that he put out. That's how he put it out, and he did it like without even thinking. That's how good he was. He just put it out. That's how he could do so many 4 pages a day if he wanted to. Yeah.
Wow.
But the thing about Sal is everyone will tell you. There was 2 things I learned, which of course most people, even if they learn from him, they're not as good as him. He could tell a story. So it served who he was. He was, as an inker, you clarify, and I come from old school style learning, and so when I talk, I'm talking about old school style, old school. It doesn't mean just style, but what is the traditional craftsmanship, right? It's craftsmanship. I came up as a craftsman and learning as a craftsman, and Sal was a master craftsman where he understood the medium. And he understood storytelling, and he understood that clarity was the absolute most important thing. Story clarity. So as an inker, what you do is you clarify the pencils. I've had this talk with my buddy Jeff Slemons and Bob Wyachek, Mike Royer. I had this talk with Joe Sinnott and Sal. And it's about you get whatever you get. Joseph is like this, Rubenstein. You whatever you get put in front of you, you finish and you clarify. You make the story of that image readable, understandable, and you understand line weight and line distribution and what is it that keeping to clarify everything for the reader in the image. That's also something you're supposed to do in storytelling. Sal was a master storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
And he learned from his brother. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, I know John used to give classes. I'm sure some of you have heard this before, but he used to give classes to Marvel artists and other people. But I know he used to give classes to Marvel artists, and I believe Walter told me he had attended 1 or 2 or something like that. Sal, early on when he first started drawing, he was mimicking his brother. You could tell in the hands, a lot of the hands he drew and everything. But Sal had a way. Sal came into his own way of drawing, and I learned a lot of that from him. I learned to keep as clear as possible, to identify the story for the reader, and the reader will be able to read it without dialogue. clarify as much as possible. That's one of the greatest things I learned from Sal, or uh, I believe I got better at by working with Sal. Also, his inking. He had this way of inking where he used a brush, by the way. Um,
I love it.
Of course
I
you love it, yeah.
believe I believe it was a 0 or 00, and he also had a number 2, and I think very rarely a number 7 or whatever. He got his brushes from someone in England. Um, he
Those
uh,
angles.
he would put down the pen. Sorry, guys, I haven't drawn anything yet, but he put down the pen, the brush, and he had this way of delineation of line. That was another thing he taught me. How to utilize delineation of line for the not to the best of my ability, right? So knowing and understanding how to utilize delineation of line. So all inkers understand delineation of line, and that doesn't just mean delineation of line, though. What you're doing is once hatching is involved, you're creating tone. There's a scale, black to white. Absence of color and the absorption of color.
Yeah.
So on that scale, you use hatching. You don't just hatch. There's a lot of ways that people and technique that people have started using in the 90s, trying to mimic Barry Windsor Smith, thinking they're mimicking, you know, Jim Lee, but those guys were all just mimicking Barry Windsor Smith, who was just mimicking Renaissance illustrators and guys like Albrecht Dürer and the great etchers. So, but anyway, so there are ways that you can ink, but really understanding what you're putting down for tone and for color and for the medium. So Sal, that was one of the biggest things that I learned, is how to utilize that line. And I would like to tell everyone exactly how Sal did it, because I know. But guess what I won't do?
Exactly.
I'm not gonna tell, at least not now.
Not now,
But
no.
yeah,
Let me run over to the chat here real quick, because we have a bunch here. Henry says, Edward Lilly, I like your Spider-Man versus Green Goblin. It reminds me a little of Gil Kane. Just curious, are you going to add the webbing under Spidey's arms?
I mean, first of all, thank you for the compliment, and I am now. So.
And then we've got All Comics Access is in the house. They say thank you for this beautiful setup. Shout out to Guy Dorian. Thanks for proud of you for doing this. I miss Sal so much. Henry also says, Travis, are you drawing ROM? Looks like it.
is somebody drawing ROM? I need to see this.
Right there.
Let me see this. I got
On the full screen.
Look at that. ROM Space Knight.
Nice. Awesome.
Excellent.
Stuff, Trav.
Glad to see that.
Yeah.
And then All Comics Access says it was an honor meeting Sal. It was life-changing for me. Sorry I'm
That's
late.
awesome.
Sorry I'm late showing up, guys. Super busy day, but I'm here to support you.
Hey, awesome.
Richard Westfall says, Guy, thank you for sharing these wonderful stories about Sal. I can't imagine what you're going through. My prayers for Sal's family and friends. Hope one day your pain and loss turns into happiness of your memories with Sal. And then the last one, and we'll be all caught up. Henry says, when Sal Buscema was inked by a strong inker like Tony Desaninga, Rudy Nimbrez, Alfredo Alcala, or Ernie Chan, did it ever look like his brother John's art?
Is that a question for me?
I think it was more of a statement. I think he's saying
Yeah.
when he had a good inker on him, his art looked like John's, and he says I
That
loved
is
it.
that is exactly true
Yeah,
because
he says
Sal
I
knew.
loved it.
Yeah, Sal knew what his brother was doing.
Right.
Because Sal could do anything, and nobody really knew his brother's work better than Sal. Nobody.
Yeah. Well, Guy, you said you wanted to see what everybody was working on, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna
definitely.
take us around the horn here and give full screens. John is almost finished. This was just so you know, Guy. This was blue. This was just blue line, printed blue line when we started this, and look where he's at now.
I'm trying to speed up,
Goodness.
but
He's doing a Hulk in
I,
honor of
I noticed
Sal.
this. I noticed he's quick. Look at
Yep.
you.
I'm not at 4 pages a day yet.
Yeah, well,
You're
it looks
gonna be there if
great.
you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
You're gonna be there if you're doing it this quick, bro.
Trying.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna
That's what-
say
Heck
for
yeah.
Sal here in the wind.
Oh,
Amazing
can you
job.
hold it up closer to the
Yeah.
camera?
Yeah. Is that
Look at
better?
that. It says for Sal in the wind there, and the
Let me
birds
see that.
coming down.
Look at that.
That's
I love it, man.
awesome,
I
dude.
love it, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
Very cool.
I'll send it to you when I'm done, guy.
Oh
Gift.
wow,
That's awesome.
that's very cool, man. Appreciate that.
Okay, no
I'll
problem.
put it with my Sal and Neil, Walt, and all that stuff.
Oh wow, cool.
And Yevgeny's also working on a Hulk painting
Yeah.
in Sal's honor,
Look at you go, man.
building up
Good.
his layers of wash on there.
Yeah, slowly but surely. Yeah.
Is that watercolor or gouache?
that's acrylics.
Oh, it's acrylics. Yeah, you go.
That looks really good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Awesome
Yeah.
stuff. And then let's see. Oh yeah, Edward's doing this one in Sal's honor
That's awesome.
because he loved how Sal could convey a punch.
Yeah, I wanted to catch that momentum here.
Yeah, the Sal Buscema punch, baby.
Yeah, man.
Got that Sal
Awesome
punch
work.
going on.
Dynamic.
Nice job, man.
Thank you.
And then got excuse me. We saw what Trav is working on. His ROM is coming together nice.
Mhm. For sure.
Looking good.
Then I've been working on finishing up my Superman guy. I've been working on the rendering, but it's way
Yeah.
more complete than what you last saw.
Very nice, man.
Got the buildings, got the clouds, got an airplane in the background.
I love it. See,
I was
That kind of-
especially proud of
yeah.
this Daily Planet because that was hard to do. I
look
did
at
that
you
all-
and the
I did
Daily
that all by
Planet.
hand.
I got to take a look at that so I know when to beat you down about what. No, it's great, man. Yeah, that's really nice. It's very clear and very concise, and you're not shying away from doing anything. You have to. One thing is that you gotta do is, as a professional, with staying power, it's not that you can draw anything; it's that
Right.
you do draw anything you have to.
Right,
And
right.
you find a way. Answering, you're a problem solver. Anyone listening, just remember, you're a problem solver.
And
That's
I
what you
started
are.
This little Hulk sketch in Sal's honor.
Wait, let me see that. Look at you son of a
man.
biscuit. That's really good.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Look
So
at
I'll be
that.
working on inking this in our last part here.
Well, if you send it to me, I'll ink it and send it back.
Oh, there you go. I'll print.
Nice.
I can print the blue lines and I'll send it. I'll tighten it up and then I'll send it to you.
Yeah, tighten it up, send it to me. I'll ink it for you.
And then let's see what you're
Awesome.
planning on working on.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you
Oh,
said you were going to do some Sal
Yeah,
mouths
what
and
I'm
things.
drawing here is something that I think is kind of interesting to see. I could go and draw all kinds of stuff, but one thing about Sal's work is that that was almost it was a definitive Sal thing was Sal's screaming mouths.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else in the industry did mouths the same way Sal did. And this is basically an open Sal Buscema Hulk mouth right here
Right.
from those days, from those issues. I mean, he did, gosh, what, 200 issues or something? I can't even remember anymore.
Crazy
Uh,
amount.
but
Yeah.
but he always had these lines in the side of his mouth, and he had this shape. It was like kind of a curvy line here, down, down, and then up and down, and then it would grow. What he would do is he would make it grow, and then he wouldn't draw when he drew like Hulk's mouth, his teeth. He would always do this. I don't know. It was very is it a triangular? What's the word? More rectangular, I guess.
Yeah.
And he would draw like the teeth were an impression of teeth. They weren't the teeth themselves; they were an impression of teeth. If
Yeah.
it was an impression, and it wasn't just for efficiency, but it was also for emotion. Sal liked to capture emotion. He really liked to capture emotion. And one of the ways that he did that was with noses that were, very like what's the word for it? They're energetic. They're energetic, and the person's always kind of screaming, and
Right.
the lines that come off. I don't know if this is even showing up on camera.
Yeah, it is.
Uh, uh, would be that screaming mouth. It would create this screaming mouth, as you could see here, and that was like a signature Sal thing. This screaming mouth, and one of the things that I should mention about Sal's work is that Sal was um, he was graphic in his work, and what I mean by graphic, he had a graphic nature that his brother did not. His brother, and I don't like comparing, but a lot of people compare, so I'm comparing.
Yeah.
If you want to know the difference between like it's just like Ian and I. Um, Ian, I'm very organic, right? And I understand it, but I like to be graphic with my stuff. When I studied Terry Austin's inking since I was like a child, since I was like 7, 8, something like that. And it took me a long time to figure out how Terry inks. But now, if I want, I can ink just like Terry. Now, with um, uh, Sal, where John was more organic all the time and round and curvilinear forms, no matter what he did. Sal, even though he was curvilinear, he had a graphic sense about his work, and he would have angular jawbones and pointed eyebrows, and it was different. It was. Is my hand showing on here or not?
Yeah. Yeah. It
Mhm.
is.
Okay, so it's like he would draw an eyebrow, and I have one of his books out in front of me, and he would shape it out like here's Hulk's eyebrow. You see that graphic nature in it?
Yep.
That graphic nature in it? Like John wasn't that type of graphic, and this was a signature thing for Sal, that he used the graphic line, and this is why he liked being an inker. He utilized the graphic line. You see that? These are graphic shapes, rectilinear and curvilinear mixtures, rather than curvilinear, and rather than doing the eye with this curvilinear all the time, and and using curvilinear forms. He'll take that and he'll turn it into a graphic form.
Yeah.
And that was his nature. See, I turned it more graphic. That was his nature of to be graphic with shapes. So, like these teeth here would be an impression of what teeth would be, and they're alive. Even his teeth. This is a Hulk mouth from his books in this. Well, at least in the style and such. And what you see here is graphic forms. So, understanding Sal is, you have to understand that he liked putting in those graphic forms. And what those graphic forms did then was create Sal Buscema isms. And I'm talking about his illustration itself. And let me here. I don't know. Is this close enough to my board to see any of it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you could see here in his work, this is his own inking. You could see how he would utilize thick and thin lines and be very graphic, even in these shadows. He wanted to see that stroke, but he left the points on the top showing, so it had a graphic, a geometric form to it. He could have took white out and went across here like this, right? He could have went right across, but he didn't. He wanted that movement and that geometric. He did it with the trees here. He did it in all of his strokes. Look at these rocks. They're geometric. Just as much as they have curve, they have rectilinear form. Here, just here. Look at this right here. Is it showing?
Yes.
Check out the forms here. They have curvilinear form, but they're rectilinear and they create graphic forms and shapes. And then what Sal did was look right here in the sky. Thicker line, but straight, a little curve, then thick, thin, thicker, thin. And he would have this kind of a thing that he did, and he put it in everything that he did, but he became a master of it. He utilized it in a masterful way where it became Sal. This is Sal. These are the Salisms that you might not notice right off the bat,
Right.
Let's see, let's find some of these mouths. I mean, I have a million Hulk and Sal Buscema, but here we go. Check this out. Look at that. Are you guys seeing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at the eyebrow I was talking about. And the expression, one winced eye, one closed eye, one open eye. His nostrils are flared. The flared nostril was everything. That was Sal Buscema because there was power in everything he did. There was power, like my hand. It's power. It's power. The Sal Buscema punch. Look at this. This is the Sal Buscema explosion. This is the Sal Buscema explosion. Everybody in like rag dolls flying in the air.
Floating, yeah.
Yeah, right. And Hulk was snarling, and his use of the one eye closed, one eye open, hair in disarray, the slam and the explosion around him, and the snarly face. That was the Hulkisms. But I mean, by the way, guys, you can check out his efficiency here. I'll talk about his efficiency for a moment. So there's something called cause and effect. So this is the cause. The bullets are the effect of what's happening, cause and effect. He separated cause and effect. McFarlane talked about using cause and effect in one panel to take several panels, 3-4 panels, and turn it into one, 2 panels, turn it into one. That can be done. But when you choose to do it this way, Sal was choosing to do a graphic image. Boom, 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 boom. This is not a mistake. This is literally graphic triangles. This is, and the distribution of weight in between of positive and negative space. It's not done for no reason. Even the guns, how it's happening. This is the 3, 1, 2, 3 creates repetition. Repetition creates movement. It creates rhythm. That's what's going on here. Rhythm. 1, 2, 3. Boom, 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 boom. Rhythm, 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 rhythm. Everything he did was about rhythm. And here you can see he shows the clarity, right? So by doing this also, look what he does. He frames the character that's talking while showing the actions happening. So he's showing 2 things happening at one time. So the Bill might have wrote, they shoot, he says something, and then he slams his foot while he gets shot. But then he could make it in 2 panels instead. He creates this, explosion. If you notice, the foot back here is missing even because he wanted to keep an explosion happening around here. You see the snow bouncing up in an explosive manner, the foot slamming down. You see the bullets hitting him and doing nothing. Then you see boom. And so he used cause and effect in 2 different panels. But what it did was it helped create a rhythmic pattern. And you know, he liked to use these types of tiers: 6 panel, 5 panel, 6 panel, 5 panel, 6 panel, 7 panel. Anyway, so you know, see his efficiency of form here. Like he would say, "Hey, I'm going to keep this clear." It says, you know, it says establishing shot, mountains, blah, blah, desert lake. He shows you the desert lake. You know, he doesn't sit there going, "I'm going to draw the greatest lake anyone's ever seen in Lakeville." You know, that's not the point. The point was that he was telling a story, and he was utilizing in the most clear way possible to give everyone reading this story as much information and do justice to the writer, you know, and he left plenty of room for the writer and everything. Any questions, by the way?
No, that's
I'm just
it's like a
following along.
master class.
Yeah, just listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Check
great.
out this opening page. Check it out. See here?
Mhm.
Look, is this showing up?
Yes.
Yes.
See the points that it creates? These are lines, but he let them be solid, but they create these points these geometric forms. Now, what that is also another way of utilizing tone off the edge of a form. Here, these hatch lines are tone, and they get a little closer as they get in, and then they create these triangles. Now, he would ink that all at the same time. It was one. Here we go. 1, 1, 1, like that. But he knew he was sort of creating this hatching form.
Yeah.
That comes off of that to create transition in form from light to light and shadow and mass. And here for you guys, and that Superman that you were drawing there, you can see here's your black shadow on the leg that we were talking about.
Yep.
See that? But he connects it with the quad. Yeah, he connects it with the quad, and then you look at the spotting of blacks here, and you could see that he's distributing weight.
Definitely.
So,
So
James,
cool.
take a note of this image because it's almost this, like the reverse of your Superman.
Yep.
But check this out. Look at that. Look at how clear it clearly defined everything is that's happening. Everything is always clearly defined. And some people might say, "Hey, you know, look, here's cause and effect here," but he wants to show you. He wants to give everything. Here's cause and effect in one shot. Whap. And then there goes Sasquatch falling. He moves the page around, the image, the camera around a lot, and gives us, you know, he gives everyone their due. But notice something. This page could be kind of boring, even though it's exciting in this page. But there's not really that much happening. But he gives you enough shots that make it exciting. You know, even when nothing's happening, he'll find a way to make it exciting by using camera angles. And it's like, you know, in the 90s, everyone said, "I need to do splash pages, splash page, splash page, splash image, big image, giant image." And one thing that I learned was you need to, if you do that all too much, right? What happens is you're taking focus away from other parts of the story that are just as important.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. So what you do is come in for a close up, give that energy. You mix up the shots, but you utilize them in a certain way that graphically it gives the audience stuff to look at, and that's how you do it.
I gotcha.
Anyway, here I did this last year. And this was the Sal Buscema style of drawing. Oh gosh, what's his name again? Dang it, I forgot. How did I forget his name? Kirby character. Anyway, so this was a sketch I did, and I turned it into a finished ink. I don't know
That's
if it,
Awesome.
That's
Wow.
great.
but you see the fun in this thing.
Mhm.
So again, something I learned from Sal. Fun. Look at how fun this is. I could sit here with photo references and draw all this stuff, but my gosh, look at how much fun this looks.
Mhm.
I mean, I had just so much. Here's the delineation of line from Sal. See the shapes? See the shapes?
Yeah.
Those triangular graphic shapes? That's from Sal. That right there is from Sal. You know?
That's
Um,
amazing.
Fantastic.
And I have a specific thing that I do with ROM that no matter which style of ROM that I had to do, whether it was the newer design or the older design, I knew how to make it work. And it was something I don't want to really say what it was right now because I don't want to give it away. But there was
Yeah,
something
don't
that
give away
Sal,
the trade secrets.
yeah, well, it was something that Sal specifically taught me and told me. And, I got so many messages from people telling me how much they loved my ROM. And I'm not taking anything away from any of the artists that were working on ROM in the last, 10, 12 years like me and Sal. But, I had Sal Buscema to tell me,
Yeah,
It's true.
that counts for that carries a lot of weight.
Well,
yeah.
definitely.
Hmm.
So here, guys, look, you can see some of the Sal. So I do some Terry Austin and I do some Guy Dorian Sr., but I also always add in Sal Buscema. Remember that I was showing you on the Hulk, his leg, that shadow? Look,
Yeah,
Mhm.
there it is.
That's
it's
it.
right there.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Mm.
And here's some Terry Austin. Here's some Terry Austin. But then here, this is some Sal Buscema.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
Yep.
Delineation of line, blah, 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 create tone, only what's needed. Let me show you guys something. Most people probably haven't seen this. This was one of the last things Sal inked. I got this awkward job, a call from somebody from Australia doing some kind of movie trilogy for some horror mythological sort of story. So Sal and I worked on it together, and this was a splash image that I did. Is this whole thing showing? I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Um,
great.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
So this character is some mythological character, and her fingers are really long and everything like that.
Mhm.
But Sal inked this in the twilight of his career, and I think he finished inking this one in 2024, the beginning of 2024,
Mhm.
when most people thought he wasn't inking anymore at all, even Tom and them. But he was, Sal said Sal would take a long time towards the end. A long time. But, he said to me, I want to do it for you, Guy. Once I stop inking, once I stop doing my work, I think I'm going to be in the ground. And I just would be like, Sal, stop. But I wanted to share this with you guys because this is Sal,
Beautiful.
Sal. And
Masterpiece.
Yeah.
yeah, and we're talking about a guy, who was, almost 90. He was like 87 at the time, 88 or whatever. Wait, 80, he would have been about 88 when he did this or so.
Wow.
And the only other guy I knew who could do that, that I watched do that was Joe Sinnott. It was me and Michael Golden, Joe, and I can't remember who else was there. And Michael drew a cat face, and then Joe took a marker to it. And before you knew it, it was the cleanest, most brilliant thing. It's like Joe never missed a step.
Yeah,
Oh,
amazing.
Here was another one. This was for the new toy company I have.
Mm.
for Lostlanders. Guy joined Senior, Sal Buscema. Whatever way that I wrote his name, is this showing? He would ink it. Like I would just put his name in, but he wouldn't sign it the way he did. If I signed it, if I wrote it, he would trace it.
Awesome.
So he would ink my letter, the words I wrote. You know, he didn't just ink the pictures; he inked everything.
That's awesome.
But this was a character that I had done a thing for, and it was toy centric, and it was a character that I wanted to start. I've never used a public domain character, but I had a character that I had originally been designing based on an astronaut, a future astronaut that I knew, named Abigail, and Louise Simonton, who is a great friend of mine, who I've worked with many times, and is an absolute gem. Okay, if you've ever met her, she's an incredible person. Anyway, so this character was based on her, and actually, Wheezy wrote the story that's in the book, The Lostlanders.
Oh, that's awesome.
Here's in color, guys. I'll show you this real quick in color. This is colored. Sal, I would give it to him, and whatever he was going to do with it, he could do with it. But Sal, this is colored by I think Ross Campbell did this. My buddy Ross. Here's some pages from John Carpenter, just showing you some of the stuff, so you can see his thinking. Here's a thing I did with Louise wrote this. Sal Buscema. Louise wrote this. I drew it, and Sal inked it. And you can see even that the graphic quality of his line. And this is all brush, all brush strokes. And awesome. This was 2015? No, 2020. Wait, let's see. Hyperbreed came out in 2020. So this would have been 2016, I think, something like that. 2015, 2016. But you could see look at his lines. Look at his line. This is an 80-something-year-old man here. Mm-hmm. Look at this.
Phenomenal.
That's. I hope I'm, half as good doing that at that age.
A quarter is good.
If I get to that age,
So I'm just going to show you some of these, so you guys could, if anyone has any questions. These I actually fashioned after spider-like characters that he had done in ROM. Was it ROM or was it Hulk? No, yeah. So he had done them like this.
We'll get to the questions here in a moment.
We'll
catch up with the chat in a moment.
Yeah, so these were done in reference to Sal's work, but you could see his organic nature here. This was very Jerry Talayak. I always say his last name wrong, but some people say, I hope I said his name right. I don't know. Somebody could clarify it for me. But some people liked him over Sal, and some people weren't that crazy over it. But I believe, was it you, James, that told me your first Hulk? Was it you? I don't remember. Was done by inked by Jerry Talayak. Maybe it was, might have been. But anyway, so that looked like a Jerry Talayak influence. So
I'm gonna read some of the chat while you're flipping through these, guys.
Sure. Go ahead.
Behind in the chat. Let's see. Cole King's in here. Says, "Hey fellas, great to see ya." Ghost Valley was in here. Says these all look fire to the art we showed a little while ago. Vic says, "Great work, guys." All Comics Access says, "True brilliance." Michael Gardner says, "So awesome hearing you pass down this knowledge from Sal." Henry loved your Android piece. um, All Comics Access says Sal is forever untouchable when it comes to artistic skills, even later in life. He is amazing. And then Henry wanted to know, Guy says, one of my favorite things was issues 82 to 85 of Marvel Team Up when Sal was inked by Steve Leialoha. What is some of your favorite stuff of Sal's?
Well, obviously, I'm going to be biased.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say stuff like this.
One?
Yeah, this is the cover for ROM that I did and Sal inked. And notice I put Sal on here, me, and Chris Ryall.
Yeah, and you put your wife's name partially up there, huh?
Chris Ryall named the planet Marn 33.
Oh, that's awesome.
And guys, check it out. This character was designed for me, and the character's name is Dorian, Dhorian in ROM. And look what I snuck in that nobody noticed. Does anyone know who that is?
Can you hold it closer?
Even the guys at IDW did not notice.
You put the Hulk in.
The Hulk.
Nice, dude.
Man,
Great.
I fucking snuck in the Hulk, guys.
Love it.
So that's it. And here's these weapons are ROM's toy weapons from the toy.
Oh, cool.
That's from the ROM's toy. But anyway, this is obviously I have an affinity for Sal inking me on ROM.
Definitely.
But I would say it, and here's like, look at how beautiful Sal inked this. This is a character design I did. Look at that movement of that brush and the delineation. And look right here. Look at the nose. Look at that.
Cool.
He did it with like nothing. He did it. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
You know, Sal and I had a lot of fun with this, and this is what Sal meant by my creativity. How often did Sal get to ink something like this? Not that often. So he really enjoyed it, you know. But I would say that someone inking Sal, that was the question?
Said just who was some of you? He said his favorite stuff was the Marvel Team Up stuff where Steve Leialoha inked him, and he wanted to know what was some of your favorite stuff.
Well, it's gonna be, man. I hate. You know, there were ages of there were ages of Sal himself and the way that he inked when he was young in his 30s was different than the way that he inked when he was in his 50s. And then the way he was when he from 60 on was different. You know what I'm saying? So there were these I hate to steal this term. Who said this? The ages. Somebody said this about Kirby. It might have been Mike Royer. But there were these ages of Sal as well because he was in the industry so long. But I would say my favorite stuff to look at would have to be his ROM work. Yeah. I mean, his work on ROM was just absolutely stellar. He was firing on all cylinders, you know. And then these issues of Sal's, like I was just showing you, kind of into his middle of his career and on Hulk and all that stuff. I would say that if somebody else inking over him, I really liked Jerry Talayak's work on Sal. I didn't have an appreciation for it at first, but then I really, I understood what was going on there. And I think a lot of people missed the boat on that one because I think that they had to understand that, Jerry understood. I hope I'm saying his name right. I don't know it was Jerry. I think it was Jerry. He understood the delineation of line that Sal was doing all the time. And he understood that brush stroke. And he understood that. Now, Joe Staten, of course, Joe Staten did an incredible job. But Sal's, I mean, gosh, man, guys, he did the Defenders, and he did Rom, and he did Hulk, and he did Spider-Man, he did Avengers, he did, I mean, he did Batman, he did, ah, you know.
So
So
much good. So much good.
He did.
I hope that sort of answered the question.
That
You know,
did,
I
yeah. Let's go
um,
around the horn here because we are over an hour and a half in. So we need to start winding it down a little bit here and show everybody a progress report on all of these pieces. I'm going back to John because he's again nearly done, and he has the 4 Sal part. Oh, look at that motion and that wind, dude.
Thanks, man.
Oh,
Look at
wow.
that.
Look at that guy.
That-
That's killer.
Speeding
awesome.
through, wow.
Thanks.
I love seeing this stuff, guys.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man. I used the parallel pen for that part.
You son of a biscuit. We got to talk about that. I was just looking at the parallel pen, and I
Yeah.
wanted to get one, so we're gonna have to talk about that.
Yeah, it's fun. I did it for the rocks too. It was a lot faster.
It looks great.
Thanks.
Oh, that does look fantastic, man. Good job.
Thanks, man.
Holy
Thank you.
crap.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Thanks, guys.
And
Fast
Just had
thinking.
some great.
Mr.
Thanks.
Edward Lilly. Nailing it,
Nice
dude.
stuff, man.
Thank
Look at
you.
that. Bam.
Damn.
Love it, Ed. Love
Yeah,
it.
awesome.
Love
Thanks,
it.
guys.
Great
You did
movement.
add the underarm webbing, didn't you?
Where's the onomatopoeia, whatever you call it? Kapow, kapooey,
I gotta put that in there too. I gotta-
slam.
Dude, they're turning out so good, man.
I added a little bit of that when you were talking about the mouth, like the way.
Yeah,
you
man.
I added a little bit of that in there.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I was adding things in here as you were talking about it. You know, like these little blocks and triangles in here for the muscle.
Good. That's good. That's honoring the memory of Sal.
That's
Exactly.
so cool. And then I got my Hulk, just tightening up the pencils a little bit more on
Look
this,
at you. Look at you.
leaving it kind
Sweet.
of loose. And then, just in case nobody saw it earlier, let me pull up my Superman that I'm finishing here. There's that. Starting to work a little in the room there. Let's see. Get that back on full screen.
There you go.
Look at them specs.
Trying not to over render him though.
You damn
Good
show
job.
off.
It's like looking in the mirror for you, Yevgeny. Look at that chest.
Yeah. Yeah, just stand in there.
And the
Show down.
Yeah, okay, dude.
I love it.
I was
All right.
waiting for that, man.
Yeah, I know.
We were all-
That's why everybody.
I was
tunes
too.
in. All right, let me pop over here to Yevgeny since we're on the subject of Yevgeny. Working on some of the face detail.
Oh yeah, sorry guys. There did the arm a little bit, and lighting is not the greatest, but
Very
Yeah,
nice.
awesome.
Very nice. Can't wait to see that weight put in.
Dude, that is
I
awesome.
don't know if you
Yeah.
intended this, Yevgeny, but have you ever seen when Whilce Portacio drew the Hulk?
was protection. No, I can't say. I've most likely
I
seen
was
it, but
gonna say
no.
the same
James,
thing.
So
James,
that's how-
you're right on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how Whilce drew his face.
Exactly.
Oh wow.
Like near exactly. You're gonna have to look it up now. It's awesome.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Dude,
I'll
it's
take
amazing.
that.
Yeah,
Let me see some light off of it. Maybe it'll help a little bit.
that's turning out amazing.
What's the wood here?
Beautiful.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's
Shit.
fantastic.
Beautiful. All right, and then popping over to Trav. He's made a lot of progress on his ROM as well.
Look at that.
Got
Loving the ROM.
creature
Yeah,
wrapping around.
Oh, yeah.
that's all. That's awesome, dude.
That's so
Wow.
cool.
Yeah, I'm working on some frog-like creatures that are going to be jumping out of trees at him, and then
There you
the tree itself has a bunch of vines that are grappling him.
Love
That's
it.
awesome.
Kind of like
Yeah,
Predator
that's great.
Badlands with the tree getting.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome.
All right, let me.
I like
see
that.
Here. Before I'm gonna give you the stage at the very end, Guy. I'm gonna catch up with these questions. Okay, Rick says nothing better than traditional work, blood, sweat, and tears onto paper. Vic says great work, guys. Thank you, Vic. We miss
Thanks,
you,
Vic.
buddy, but we understand
Yeah.
you got stuff going on, man. like I said at the start, sending prayers your guys' way and lots of
Hmm.
love. Um, All Comics Access says, "Gentlemen, I love your art as well. I'm just in awe of Guy going into depth about Sal's detailed art and the process." Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I've been
we
like
all
sitting
were.
Yeah.
here listening the whole
Yep.
time. Henry
Keeping
says,
this up, man.
"Nice," all caps. Matt Nick is in here. Awesome colorist. Welcome in. Says, "Evening, everyone." K-pop
Evening.
says, "Looking good." Thank you,
Hey, keep up.
K-pop. And All Comics Access says, "Loving that Superman." Hey, thank you.
Hey.
I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out. All right,
Hmm.
Guy. As we wrap things up, I want to give you. You good with me giving you the full screen, bud?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to give you the full screen. We're going to wrap up this stream and this tribute to Sal. It has been an amazing experience with everybody. Mr.
Uh,
Guy Dorian.
well, I'd like to say thanks to everybody, and I want to tell everyone, if you like Sal, don't like Sal, if you find this video 4 years from now, um, find it tomorrow. I'd like everyone to please share it, because any video you see about Sal, share it. When Sal wasn't concerned about being remembered when he was gone, but I think we are. We all are. And time goes on, and new artists come, new people come. It's important to remember. It's important to remember a guy like him, because he did so much more than just the work. The kind of person he was, everything about him. We need people like that. We need people like that perpetuated in this industry and in every industry. 20 years from now, people are going to grow up with AI and everything. And I don't want to talk about AI, but what I'm saying is that, digital this, digital that, AI this, AI that. It's, we're going to be like ancient people, ancient art, the Renaissance, 1400s and 1500s or whatever, So, I mean, remember Sal, perpetuate Sal. I said that about Herb too. I still do. You got to show the love for these guys. Go buy the books. You can find a lot of them in Dollar Bin, even because as reader copies. But explore his work and understand what he was about. And just know he was a great guy, and for everyone, he loved everyone, and he left a lasting impression on me for the rest of my life. And I was so incredibly happy to work with him for all these years steady, until his passing, and be his friend. And I did speak with Joan. I haven't talked about this, but I did speak with Joan. I know Joan well too, his wife. We had a therapeutic conversation. She told me we started talking, and we talked for over an hour, and it was therapeutic for the both of us, because she said she hadn't spoke to anyone on a call or anything like that for that long, and just trying, mostly about reminiscing and laughing and smiling about Sal. And that's what we did, and Marnie and I, we love Joan. My family loves Sal and Joan. And I just wanted to let you guys know that, as much as she's hurting, she was very happy that that so many people loved Sal, and that Sal was able to be so, she said she married a great man, and she did. And he married a great woman. I mean, she was his Roz. You know what I'm saying? If you can have a Roz, if anyone doesn't know it, I'm referring to Rosalind Kirby, Jack's wife, Jack Kirby's wife. She was, and she was we had a great conversation. So I just wanted to let everyone know that. but it was therapeutic for me, and this was therapeutic for me. I appreciate everyone and all your questions, and please share this because I had some stories. There's a million stories I'll be telling about Sal. Some will be probably on my Patreon, and some will be on the web and such. It'll be different, but it'll. I have some images and things I'll be showing that no one's seen ever, and cool. I'd like to also. Do any of you guys have any questions before I go and start showing, trying to help James close this out with showing a bunch of Sal Buscema books?
No, buddy, I don't have any questions. I'm ready to see this stuff.
Yeah.
All
Yes,
right.
let's
Yeah.
see it.
All right, so I'm gonna just show you guys some Sal Buscema stuff to close this out.
Look at that.
Different books that Sal worked on.
Mm.
Some of the covers are Sal's, some of the covers aren't. But these are all books that Sal worked on. Whether he did the cover or not, these are books you can get.
Iconic books, man.
Mm-hmm.
And like Guy said, you can get a lot of these for cheap because you can get like reader copies and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and there's always
I'll be looking for
Comixology, guys. Like you could get on digital on any of these.
And the
So
library. Don't forget the library.
Oh yeah, and Ed's got that library. He reminded us the library has the digital access where you can get a lot of comics.
So let me. What I'm going to do. I have a million of these, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this out with a Sal Buscema book. I think that would make more sense to open up one of these books of Sal's art. You know, let me just see if I could grab one with Jerry in it. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I'm sniffly here.
You're good, buddy.
All good.
I'll read a couple comments while you're doing that.
Sure.
Don Williams says, "Honored to be listening in tonight." We're honored to have you here, Don. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in,
Henry
Don.
loved all
Thank you.
Sal's stuff. His art is engraved in my soul. Growing up buying his books off the spinner racks. That's amazing, Henry. Thanks for sharing that.
Way
All
cool.
Comics Access. I will continue pushing Sal's work. I will make sure this new generation understands his impact. Yeah, that's each and every one of us needs to do that.
Definitely.
Oh, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
That's great stuff.
Beautiful work.
Yeah, I love
Sorry,
his Hulk
guys.
so much.
Trying not to crush the book at the same time.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
You'll hear a million people screaming if you crunch it up.
No, even if it's mine, they're going to be like, "What are you doing?
Yep.
What do you mean that thing's not in the case?" All right. Here,
Wow.
Look at that.
The flying bodies, man, just like you were talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Love it.
Let's see. Let me close it out here.
Rick Saylor says, definitely cool getting to see you, Guy. Thanks for spending time with us.
Very welcome, and
Appreciate you being in here, Rick.
Yep. Thanks for coming, Rick.
yeah. Oh, here we go. One of the most famous stories ever by Sal. Look at this. This will be the closeout here, I guess.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Good.
Oh, so good.
Mm-hmm.
Sasquatch and all. Oh,
Yep.
Nice.
Sasquatch.
Indiegogo. I love it.
Such beautiful work. Consistently beautiful, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was the thing. The consistency and the quality of his work never waned.
If anything, only got better over time.
I feel like it got better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I let me skip to some Here we go. Check this out, guys. Look at this. I could look at
Whoa.
this
Yeah,
all
Yeah.
day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that leg, that lead leg, man. That close up.
That leg feels very John
Look,
though, right?
look at that mouth.
Yeah, that's like a John leg for sure.
You know.
It was in the genetics.
Yeah, I love that.
Taking him down.
Just. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Check this out, guys. Check this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, look at that. Look,
So good, man. So good, the movement.
Look at that
Look at
punch
the-
though.
the power. The power.
There's that
And-
punch too.
And listen, if you've ever met if you ever met Sal, he wasn't a very giant guy or anything like John, but you could see the Hulk in him. You could see the power in him. You could see this stuff. You could see how it came out of him.
Yeah.
They say we kind of look like what we draw like.
Right.
Mm.
And Sal always did. He he kind of had this Hulkism to
Had the
him.
presence.
Yeah, man. And
Yeah.
it was just, oh, Jesus. I'm going to do this for all night now. Look at this. Look at that.
Finding more gold.
Anyway, James,
Okay.
I want to thank you for letting me,
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Thank you anymore.
Yeah.
I know how fresh all of this is and how hard this was for you, but I also think it's a little cathartic or therapeutic in the process of being in here with everybody that you know loves you and supports you and loves Sal. So I just appreciate you taking the time to do it, man.
thanks,
Amen
man.
to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody
Yeah,
that
we all
was
do.
here, all the artists, all
Yep.
our amazing friends that we draw with every Sunday, everybody in the chat, greatly appreciate you guys. Yeah, Brandon Paul says, I love that 4-panel transformation sequence. So good. Yeah, amazing stuff, Brandon. Brandon's
Oh,
going to be on the Bristol Bros this Tuesday. I heard we might get some teasers of your Chuck Maxwell issue too, Brandon. I'm looking forward to that. All Comics Access says Sal was always ahead of his time, always so much emotion in every character he did. Definitely. Definitely. Awesome, guys. Well, listen, I appreciate everybody being in here. And
I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
I want to just say my condolences to everyone out there, because everyone, I'm hurting as a personal friend and someone who worked with him, but I know there's many guys out there, many people, I should say, who are hurting
Yeah.
and feel the loss of this mammoth person, this Hulk of a man, this incredible human being and artist and creator. And I want to say that I'm sorry for your loss and for how you feel and the sadness and the loss that you all feel and his family feels and the industry feels. I truly feel like Sal was, although humble, he knew you all felt that way about him. And I tried to make sure every one of his birthdays, I would let people post all this stuff and I would send it to him.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, I'm so sorry that you all lost Sal and the industry lost Sal, and honor him by remembering him and posting about him.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. And All Comics Access says facts. When I met him along with you and Chris, he had larger than life energy. Yeah, and it sounds like he positively impacted a lot of people's lives, and that's something that he prided himself on, was how he treated people. And so, yeah, there are a lot of people hurting out there, even people that never were afforded the opportunity to meet him. So condolences go out to his family as well, his friends. Greatly appreciate all you guys being in here today. And with that, we will be ending the stream. Go out, support Sal's family, buy some more books, man. It is great stuff. Highly recommend it. And come join us next Sunday. we will get to hang out again. Hopefully, we'll have our regular crew. Again, condolences to Big V. His mother-in-law passed away, and
Oh
that's
yeah,
why he's not
so
here with
sorry.
us. Sending condolences, prayers to him and his wife, his family,
Mm.
Yes.
and Vic, you've been in here in the chat with us, but I understand that your mother-in-law is currently sick as well. I was praying for her and sending that positive energy your way.
Mm.
If you ever need anything, we're here for you, brother.
Yeah.
Last
Yeah.
comment. We're going to end it on a great comment. James, you've said plenty of times you were a big dude, but I didn't see it until your hand grabbed that mic. Yeah.
Trust
The
me, he's a
scary
big
part
dude.
is, guys, the scary part is Yevgeny's bigger. Show that hand, Yevgeny. Holy.
Dude.
That's 11 by 17.
That's crazy.
Dude. That is crazy, dude. I got to get you off of this full screen quickly. There we go.
Sorry, try not to take up so much space.
I mean, bigger than me in height, right? At least in height.
At least in height. Yeah.
All right, guys. Everybody's holding up their Sal stuff. I wish I had some within hand's reach here. Boom. Look at that. Boom. Look at that. Yevgeny Hulk. Ooh. John. Damn.
Wonderful.
John's Hulk
Thanks,
is
guys.
finished.
Dude.
Look at this.
Everybody's so good.
Yeah, I
You
think I
guys
just
finished
finished
this in under 2 hours. That is insane.
Thanks. Well,
Good.
Sal's
I
Hulk was
picked
always my favorite, so
Nice.
up the wrong one. I was
Good
holding up.
taste.
I was holding up Mignola. I was like, wait, that doesn't look like Sal.
It's all good. It's still,
I picked up the wrong book. I wasn't looking at
I
it.
know Mignola liked Sal too, so look at this. There we go.
Mhm.
Go back to the Sal. There. I'll just go back to this.
Boom. Pow.
Throwing everybody on the screen. Pow.
said
it.
Kapow.
Yes.
There you go. Bam. Whew. I am
Just
more
so good, man.
motivated than ever now. All right, everybody. Have
Everybody.
a great night. Tune in
Have a good
to
night,
Crystal
everybody, guys.
Bros
See you guys.
Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific. Mr. Brandon Paul is going to be with us. Join us next Sunday for the live draw and chat with friends, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you never know who might show up. Been talking to some people. We might have some pretty cool people in here drawing with us, guys.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
the easiest way to make sure people see more of these videos is just to like them. If you like it, that tells YouTube you enjoy it. They'll show it to more people. Subscribing is an extra bonus. That always helps. And lastly, All Comics Access says, thank you, Nerdy Muse, for putting this on, Guy. I'm so proud of you for doing this. I know it's not easy. You, Chris, Joe, and his family are in my prayers. Rick Saylor says, awesome stream, guys. Have a great night. All right, everybody.
Have a good night,
Looking
guys.
forward to
Good night,
Bristol.
guys.
Thank you, Guy. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Guy.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, James.
Love you, Guy. I'm here for you. We're
Thanks,
all here
guys.
for you, all right?
Love you guys,
Have a good
too.
one, guys.